Hi, welcome. My name is Zhang. I am the chair of Department of Bioengineering at the School of Engineering in Santa Clara University, here at the center of Silicon Valley. In today's online lecture or online slides presentation, I would like to present briefly about what is the bioengineering and what we do here at the Department of Bioengineering at the Santa Clara University. So we started with these slides, Department of Bioengineering at Santa Clara University. And if you want to know more detailed information after today's presentation, and you can go to the website listed on this page, or I will give you my contact information as well as two current bioengineering students' contact information. Please feel free to contact us for any information you need about the program and the life of bioengineer students in Santa Clara University. So what is bioengineering? And these slides tells you the official definition from National Institute of Health about bioengineering. I'm not going to read through all of this. The big picture you're going to get is bioengineering is a highly interdisciplinary area, and it needs all kinds of knowledge from physics, chemical, mathematics, computational, and E-Lang and the Mac. We need all of them. And I made these slides trying to illustrate my personal view of what is bioengineering based on the bio subject we are studying. And the clue to study these bio subjects is their size. And based on their size, we have definition of what is biomolecular engineering, what is biomaterial engineering, what is the biodevice engineering. Those are the three major technical areas of the bioengineering these days. So we started with the small number, 0.2 nanometer. That's the small molecule, synthetic, organic, small molecule. We started from there. And the Mother Nature gave us the next bigger molecule. It's called a macromolecule. Inside the cell, this is DNA. Translated from DNA, we got a bigger, much bigger molecule or molecule complex. This is protein. That's make up our life these days. And biomolecular engineering track has been created to study these molecules. Okay, so for example, to engineer these synthetic small molecule, we have drug discovery, and DNA, we have genome editing, and for protein, we have a protein engineering. All these, we have courses and labs we will teach you in the next 4 years at SCU here. Then we get a bigger. This is the bacterial cells, and getting bigger, that's mammalian cells. Now we have here, from 200 nanometer to 0.2 micrometers. And now we're getting bigger. These cells were made up for the tissues. And then we have this nano material for bio applications. And we have a prosthetics here. And then we're starting getting to 100 micrometers range. So for this size, these materials, actually, we can define them as a biomaterial engineering. So the size difference is obvious. Then if you want to engineer the cells, we have so-called cellular engineering. You want to engineer the tissues, we have a tissue engineering. And you want to engineer nanomolecules for the bio application, we have nano biomaterial engineering. And then for the prosthetics, for the implants treatment, we have biomaterial engineering and implants. And also we have class called biomechanics to accommodate that, to teach that those principles. Now here is interesting, at the 1 millimeter, the cutoff lines, you can have device as smaller as 1 millimeter. And by definition, actually, this device is falling into the category of a biomaterial. However, it is device, okay? And then my point is actually the boundaries between these subjects are not that clear. Okay, so we have these tiny device, and then we have this bigger size device, that's the microfluidics. Then we have these bioinstruments, and the bigger one is more than 1 meter, like humans, that's biorobotics. Okay, so these, and the study of engineering of these size of a bio subjects, that's called the bio device engineering. And so if you want to study these tiny ones, that's implantable biodevice engineering, and we do have research, and we have a class specifically teach this kind of device here in our department. And these are the microfluidic biodevice. That's our one strong specialty for this department. Bioinstrument medical and bioinstrumentations, we have class, and we also have labs to have you hands-on to generate the prototype for such instrumentation. As a matter of fact, in one of my class this quarter, my students going to create these wearable or wireless oximeters to check your blood pressure and the oxygen levels in your blood. So these will be the hands-on lab experience. And then collaborating with other departments, and we have a biorobotics development. As I mentioned that these are the 3 major technical areas of bioengineering: biomolecular, biomaterial, and the biodevice. And I hope I explained these big picture well here. And also I mentioned that bioengineering is a highly interdisciplinary field. It cannot go well without collaboration with other scientific departments and engineering departments. For example, within school engineering, we have a civil engineering, computational engineering department, electric engineering department, and the mechanical engineering departments. These are the classic or traditional the engineering department. And we have established the extensive collaboration with this department. For example, with civil, these collaboration will lead to new energy and the biofuel engineering and environment engineering programs. And computational and the engineering department, the collaboration leads to bio-AI. It's called a bio-artificial intelligence. That particularly they will contribute or collaborating with biomolecular engineering and the biomaterial engineering and the device engineering. For the ELAN, we have collaboration in all 3 areas. For the MAC, of course, I mentioned that there was more in these biomaterial and the device, particularly it will be working on this biorobotics. So the collaboration is very extensive. And then if you want to say, oh, okay, we want to train a whole bioengineer here, what's up here is the technical aspect of a bioengineering, and the whole bioengineering cannot be said in this way until we also teach you the elements of the experiential, the experience or soft skill sets of the bioengineering. So for example, the class curriculum also include these engineering management, leadership, and you will be trained in these biotechnology, legal and IP issues, as well as the policy and the government regulations. These things are very, very important. And then once you grasp all these principles and the knowledges and SCU or Santa Clara University is very strong about entrepreneurship mindset. And there's a lot of opportunity and the programs here to encourage students to think about as an entrepreneur, to innovate, to create with a mission. So these are the big picture of what is bioengineering, and a little bit more specific, that's what's going on of the Department of Bioengineering at Santa Clara campus. All right, so in the real world, bioengineering, you will see it's everywhere. So bioengineering, I would like to say, bioengineering save lives. Okay, so this is one of the example that is we using the gene and the cell therapy, or you can say genomic editing and the cellular bioengineering. I just mentioned in the previous slides. As a matter of fact, in the real life, it has been engineered as a new way of therapy and save the child's life, like Emma, from the deathbed, and she is living happily after. And these are the vaccine development. There's been, especially we are right now, we are in the unprecedented, difficult times about the coronavirus pandemic. And everybody probably heard from the news, there's a vaccine, they're really pressed for the vaccine and the antibody therapy or immune therapies for these to treat this pandemic. And these actually the principles and it's all falling into the bioengineering category. And of course, there's protein medicine, and we mentioned that the protein engineering, there are protein engineering being made and to create the protein drugs. For example, human insulin is the result of biomolecular, specifically protein engineering. Okay, so having said that, in the real life, there can be a lot of the approaches and a lot of outcomes for the bioengineering studies. I call that a diversity in bioengineering. What you can be after you graduated from these programs here, there has been, you can become bioimaging engineer, validation engineer, vaccine development scientist, manufacturing development engineering, and the regulatory specialist, biostatistician, and there has been a lot of career outcomes after you graduated from this program. And these I'm listing here is because my students from this department, before they got the job, they're working on this area right now. So it's a very diverse the area of the for the bioengineering. So speaking of the employment and outcome, after you graduate from this department, you can, number one, you can go to working in the company. And I am just using the last year's data from California Life Science Association about the biotechnology employment. This is the map of California, and the green area is our Bay Area. We are in the center of it right here, right? So Bay Area, so total last year in California, we see 311,000 jobs for the biotechnology jobs. As a matter of fact, compared to computer jobs here, which is here, is only 215,000 jobs. Actually, our life science industry jobs surpassed the computer jobs last year. Okay, and if you look at these charts of the colors here, Bay Area has the most offers of these biotech jobs in the entire California. Okay, and the wages, actually these are listing here. It's not bad actually, and I can just say 2 years ago I have first Bio-E undergraduate student, and after she out of this, she graduated from the program, she got a 6-figure salary. So somewhere along here, okay. So that's the employment. If you really want to go to industry, start a job. Another the next, I want to talk about what we are doing here for our faculties and staff and our students. So first, and the theme of our department is engineering towards therapy. Okay, as I mentioned, that the bioengineer is such a diverse areas, and we can do so many things. But as a department here, and we really want to be focused. We want to focusing on anything related to the therapy. Okay, it can be the therapeutic treatment. It can be therapeutic, the diagnosis, and for that can be either the therapeutic device or a diagnostic device, bio-device engineering. So that's something we want to do. And so I'm just giving you a few examples of a faculty research here in our department. So first thing is we do basic research. Okay, these are we study the basic biological mechanism, for example, using synthetic biology, and this is my work recently published in the Nature Communication. So here I'm just showing we solve the protein timer for the apoptosis. See, this is the complex. There is a timer. If you turn clockwise, it goes to the apoptosis. That means the cell will die. However, if you turn to the left, I'm just using this counterclockwise, this kind of a very simplified model, and actually the cell will go into self-cleansing. Okay, the clean itself up, so to make it live longer. So this way, of course, the mechanism solved, we will have some insight into this therapy towards the cancer treatment. And of course, easy for me to say this mechanism, but look at this is just one figure from the paper, right? So these are the basic mechanism of biology. And this is also my research, and we also have programmed research here to drug discovery. This is the new category of broad spectrum anti-infectives. It's not antibiotics, but it's to stop the bacterial infection. And based on what we know about this sortase A, and we did a high throughput screening about the drugs, and these are the small molecules, and we kind of figured out what's going on, how these interact with these drug candidates. So I'm just showing the movie here very briefly, and you can see this is the pocket of the active site, and this is the drug candidate that really sits into this these active sites here, and it can be, it's not drug yet, it can be the drug candidates for the future study. Okay. So we also have other faculty, like Professor Liu here, also did a bioimaging, biomedical imaging, and the drug delivery, and using exomo. These are the images we took from the public domains, but very similar quality of the research he is being doing here. And we have about medical imaging, the researchers, and also we took these images from the public domain, but we have a publications also very similar to this kind of research here. And we have a medical device and implants, and the faculty is doing research on this part, and we have these biomedical and physiological modelings, and we even have as I mentioned that before, we have a class to teach this one specifically too. And Dr. Emma Ratti is doing these wireless or wearable bio-device engineering. So for example, here we have the handheld applications, and the idea is to do this. It's falling into the category of diagnostic therapy. That also matches the theme of our department. And we have these artificial the organs and the tissue engineering. Dr. Prashant Asuri is active on this research. The department is traditionally very strong in the microfluidics and about MEMS engineering. Dr. Ashley Kim is been running this research for a while, for years. And this is the new one we recently coming up, led by Professor Yuling Yan. That's the BioAI. It's a bio artificial intelligence. So basically, AI is the words on the Bay Area right now. We really want to cross between the computational artificial intelligence with the bioengineering, and we're hoping to provide the platform for the precision medicine, so on and so forth. It's a very active area. We also have a colloquium. We are the first department in the Bay Area. We offer the complete set of the colloquium teach about AI to our students. So accordingly, we have bioengineering labs. Students can starting their the real research work within faculty's lab as early as freshmen. Okay, a lot of students getting into faculty's research lab, join the real research projects. I just mentioned a couple of slides before, starting sophomore year. They really got involved. But if you're a freshman, you're also welcome to get started as early as that. And I will say, by the time when you reaching the senior years, and which you are mandatory, have to do senior design projects. That's another level of the research project. You have to do research. So that's the specialty of our department. You will have plenty of hands-on experience when you spend your 4 years here. And to current Bio-E students, you will hear from them later. They will also introduce you their the extracurricular activities, including the internships off campus and within campus. So there's a lot of opportunities for hands-on bioengineering when you spend your 4 years on the campus or off campus. We have very strong Bay Area industry networks here. That's one of our program strength here. I want to mention that. So what about teaching here? Yes, one really strong the strength of our program is our teaching. Our faculty and the staff are dedicated to teach the bioengineering in the classroom and design the hands-on lab sections and articulate the Bay Area industry networks so that you will do these hands-on internships or the co-op opportunities with the Bay Area industries. Okay, so our goal is to bring 21st century bioengineering to the Clara University and by curriculum. Okay, so this I will do very brief summary of our program. For details, please go to our website. I mentioned that in the page 1 of these slides, and a lot of details of the description of the courses and the schedules is all being illustrated on. You'll find out from that the web pages. So for the undergraduate student studies and the teachings, we have 3 tracks. It's the biomolecular track and biomolecular engineering track, biodevice engineering track, and the pre-med tracks. Okay, and so what's happening actually for your class when you just come in, actually you will use the all new 4-year plan. Okay, you will be the first wave of students to use our newly designed 4-year plan. So this 4-year plan, basically we will really put all the bioengineering students, regardless of their track, and put them under one roof so that you will be educated or taught with these basic principles and the sets of the knowledges under the one roof. And you will know each other very well as a bioengineering as a class. And then when you go to the senior, junior or senior level, and then for the specific tracks, we will have little separation here. I'm saying little, not a lot, okay? And separations there, and then we will have a more specialized the courses coming up, specifically, for example, for biomolecular, for device, or for pre-med. But there was small difference. It's not the big ones, okay? And I'm sure the two students going to introduce the idea of these, talk about that, the small difference. And I don't want it to build up these big crystal walls between the biomolecular track, bio-device track. Actually, a lot of things, a lot of good things happens when there was interdisciplinary research and studies, okay? So keep that in mind. And I got a lot of the questions previously about the accreditation, and here I just want to take advantage of this opportunity to say it is our department's decision, and then we will not go with ABAT, okay? And there's reasons not to go ABAT, and actually unlike the traditional or classic engineering majors, they go ABAT, but the bioengineering across the nation, the trend is they move away from the ABAT. Okay, and for us, the department will have been reviewed and comply with so-called WASC. Okay, the WASC is the abbreviation is the accrediting commission for schools, Western Association of Schools and Colleges. Okay, and this is a world-renowned accrediting association, and this one is. I just want to say this is more vigorous than ABAT, and the program under WASC, the curriculum, the content has been reviewed every year by WASC. Okay, so this is more stringent, more vigorous accreditation. We've been doing that for years. Okay, so we will not go for the ABAT. We go with WASC. Okay, so these are the examples. I don't want to go through every single one. I'm just saying there has been senior design, there has been researchers, and these are the examples of the projects our students have been done with the senior design capstone project. You have to do that in your senior years in order to graduate. So everybody is mandatory to have a research experience, right? So there's varieties of projects every year, and you can do that in-house with our faculty. You can also work with our industry collaborators off campus. Okay, so there's plenty of good projects to select from. And our students did a wonderful job of their research, and their research has gone to the publications, real publications, and they have gone to the national and the international conferences to present their work. So these are examples of few of those conferences our students have been attended and presented. So the journals, we publish all over the place, just like the other research schools, students published. And we also have a lot of collaborations, not just with the Bay Area industries, we have international recognition. So for example, we have international summer exchange program, and we send our students, that's me, and go to Shanghai, China in the summer. This year we go there and we learn from their pharmacy, school of pharmacy. Next year, their students come to our university to learn biology. And this culture exchange and curriculum exchange, there's a lot of interesting things happening. Our students are really happy about that. Okay, so where are our students, you're wondering? So for the industry, we have 54 strategic partners in the Bay Areas. These are just a very few examples where our graduates working there right now. They have a Genentech, they have a working at Imagings, they have NASA's, they have Google's, the Strikers, Intuitive Surgicals, they're everywhere. These are the industry jobs. And we also have our graduate students, if they choose to pursue their academics, they already in the PhD programs in these tier 1 universities, all over the place. And I also mentioned that because we also have a very successful pre-med track, and our students have no problem to get into these the UCLA medical schools, Stanford medical schools, Stanford medical centers, and they're also in these top tier medical schools across the nation. So you will see there's a lot of SCU alumni in this nation. They're doing very well. Okay, so I'm going to stop my presentation here, and I wish I could, in the same classroom with you and answer the question face to face, but because of this unprecedented pandemic of coronavirus, and we can't. So, but I provide you here. If you have any questions, please feel free to write to me. This is my email address. And shortly, there's two undergraduate students, Emma and Seamus. They will talk to you about the life of a bioengineering student in Santa Clara University. And please feel free to contact them. These are their email address. Okay, and I would like to wrap up by saying thank you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you. Bye.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emma, and I'm currently a junior studying bioengineering at Santa Clara University. I'm also a Division I student athlete. I am a captain of the women's cross country and track and field team here at Santa Clara. I'm often asked why I chose bioengineering and why I chose to come to Santa Clara. So my interests in high school were somewhat interdisciplinary. I loved chemistry and I was interested in the medical field, but I also enjoyed math too much to give it up. And fortunately, I discovered bioengineering, which in my opinion is the most interdisciplinary field or major at Santa Clara. As bioengineers, we get to take courses in electrical engineering, computer engineering, mechanical engineering, of course, bioengineering. And we also get to take courses in physics, math, chemistry, and biology. Additionally, there are tons of post-undergrad options in bioengineering, including graduate school, medical school, whatever you're interested in. Silicon Valley really is the hub of bioengineering, and Santa Clara, being located right here in the heart of Silicon Valley, really takes advantage of that. For example, last year, one of the bioengineering faculty organized an info session with a local startup company on our campus, and I attended this session, and afterwards I introduced myself to the presenter, and I ended up getting a research position with that startup company for last summer. So I know a lot of you might be considering coming to Santa Clara, and I was in your position 3 years ago, and I wanted to share some questions that I had coming to Santa Clara and answers that I now have for those questions. One question I had was, how would I get to know people? I've really been able to get to know people through my classes. That's one of the advantages of coming to a school with smaller class sizes like Santa Clara. We really have formed a community in my major, and I've certainly made friends from bioengineering. I've also gotten to know people outside of my major, and that's, again, one of the benefits of being such an interdisciplinary field. Another way that you can meet friends, of course, is through extracurricular activities. For me, this has largely been Division I athletics, but you can also meet people through club and intramural sports. And at Santa Clara, we really have too many clubs to name, but one example is the Biomedical Engineering Society, which we have a branch of on our campus. You can also meet people through professional fraternities. We have a branch of the Professional Engineering Fraternity Theta Tau on our campus. And I'm also involved in Tau Beta Pi, which is the Engineering Honor Society, and Alpha Sigma Nu, which is the Jesuit Honor Society. And I'm also involved in the honors program here at SCU, so numerous ways to meet people. I also had a question. I wondered what would happen if I started struggling in my engineering classes. And I've found that the professors, and especially the bioengineering professors, are incredibly willing to help students. You just reach out to them and they're more than happy to meet with you. And of course, all professors are also required to host office hours for students. We also have multiple free tutoring options available on campus. We have drop-in and appointment tutoring for courses like math, physics, chemistry, and other courses. And additionally, students in Tau Beta Pi, which is the Engineering Honor Society that I mentioned earlier, they offer free tutoring for virtually every upper division course in the engineering school. Another question that I had was, would I have time for social life outside of engineering school and the demands of being a Division I runner? And I've found that I really have. I have a job with the tutoring center, and I'm also able to pursue my passion for climate action and environmental justice as a food systems fellow with the Center for Sustainability on campus. And I've also been able to be a TA for honors classes outside of the School of Engineering. So even with these additional responsibilities and with being captain of my team, I've still been able to connect with my teammates and friends, and I've been able to explore local restaurants, take hikes in nearby open spaces and preserves. I've been able to take weekend trips to San Francisco and participate in marches in San Jose, and really just make lifelong friends at Santa Clara. So I hope this gives you some insight on your decision, and please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions that I didn't answer. My contact info, you can email me at emccurry@scu.edu. Thank you, and I hope to see you as a Bronco.
There you go, unmuted. Hello, my name is Seamus Hudnut. I'm a senior bioengineering student here at Santa Clara University on the pre-med track. I am planning on staying for a 5th year as part of Santa Clara's 4+1 master's program to get my master's in translational bioengineering. So I'm here today to talk to you all about why I chose Santa Clara Engineering, as well as what was my life like as a student in the engineering college. So why did I choose Santa Clara Engineering? My one-word answer for you is opportunity. I really didn't like the idea of being boxed into a certain major of engineering or being told what to do with my life as an 18-year-old. And for that reason in particular, I think Santa Clara Engineering School is a perfect fit. I didn't have to compromise getting a high-quality education for wanting to nourish that experience and that exploration. So some of the reasons that I was able to explore here at Santa Clara include the flexibility of declaring my major, the size of the school, as well as the faculty connections that Santa Clara University faculty has. So the flexibility in deciding my major, nobody's required to declare their major until the end of your sophomore year. So I came in undeclared in the School of Engineering. I started on the mechanical engineering major track, took some classes in there, but I quickly realized it really just wasn't clicking for me. So I decided to go and talk with my faculty advisor as well as my engineering peer advisor and get some advice from them and some really helpful conversations. And so I decided to start taking some bioengineering classes, change it up a little bit, and I found that I really liked those classes. And so by the end of my freshman year, I was starting to take mostly those classes related to bioengineering, but I still didn't feel the pressure to put myself into one of those boxes because I didn't need to declare until the end of my sophomore year. And I found that flexibility really valuable. Leading from that is the approachable size of the school. So the professors in all of my classes, I can go up to them at the end of class and ask them questions. I can go to their office hours. It really creates a personable educational experience at Santa Clara University. I didn't have any classes greater than 60 to 70 students. Most of my classes were between 15 and 30 students. And I found that close, tight-knit community that I found in the classroom really, really helpful. And with that approachability comes easy access to faculty connections. So as you go through college, you learn that networking is huge and super important. And the industry connections that the faculty at Santa Clara have are immense. And that really gives me a sense of confidence as a undergraduate, soon to be graduate of Santa Clara University, that any letters of rec, internship recommendations, or job connections that I get from faculty at Santa Clara will really pay off. So it's really just a very well integrated, close-knit community. And that makes bridging gaps between different passions much easier when you're exploring like I did. And even if nothing seems to align yet, that's okay. Nothing aligned for me as a senior in high school. And it doesn't have to for you either. But even if you do have a passion in engineering that you do want to explore, Santa Clara University faculty are more than willing to help you. So going from that, what was my experience like as a Santa Clara University undergrad? A lot of people think that being an engineer means you have to sacrifice a lot of your other college life experience, and I really didn't find that to be the case. My freshman year, I was able to walk on to the Division I soccer team here at Santa Clara, and that was a great experience, and I learned how to balance and juggle academics with Division I sports. But by the end of my sophomore year, I decided to walk off the team for some personal reasons. But then I was able to join a student-run club soccer team and then participate in other intramural sports and adventure and hike with my friends. I joined the club Into the Wild and did a lot of adventuring with them, doing day trips with friends and things like that. So that really wasn't limited. Going into my junior year, I had the opportunity to study abroad in Spain. So I got to spend my fall quarter in Madrid. And I really found that the help from the study abroad office was immense. So they do a really good job of making it doable to study abroad for everybody at Santa Clara University, including engineers. I was able to stay on track for my 4 years to graduate and take some classes while I was abroad. And that really helped to expand my college experience to that life-changing and impactful experience that study abroad is. Going into my senior year, I've really learned to emphasize the whole person education that Santa Clara strives for. So taking a wide spread of class types, different academic emphases, and those all come together during your senior year for the capstone project. Sorry, I need to fix. And so during my senior year, I was really able to emphasize the whole person educational experience. And this was mainly due to my senior design project, where I was able to integrate a wide interdisciplinary spread of classes. So my senior design project is with building a low-cost prosthetic hand, which I think is really cool. And I'm able to practice my well-rounded education with talking to doctors, talking to amputees, talking to medical and engineering professionals, and knowing the anatomy of a hand while at the same time having to build a circuit and the mechanical components for that mechanical hand that I'm building. So it's really just bringing everything together that I've learned at Santa Clara and putting it all into one really strong piece of work that I can be proud of as I graduate. So that leads me here today to talking to you about my experience at Santa Clara. So I hope this short video helped you. I hope that one of the opportunities that myself, Emma, or Dr. Zhang talked about really resonated with you. I remember being in your shoes 4 years ago with lots of questions, lots of concerns, lots of excitement. And I really wish I could have met all of you in person and answered your questions face to face. But as of now, I hope you can reach out to us via email. You can find our contact information at the end of Dr. Zhang's slide. My email is shudnut, HUDNUT, @scu.edu. Please reach out with any questions you have. Thank you.